I mean, they started, it was light out. It was dark by the time they were done. Parking, I guess, you know. I don't know.
It's like a sitcom.
With, as you say, at least a happy ending.
Yeah.
All right, that's our time for now. We thank you for watching. We hope to see you back here again tomorrow. We have Jay Wilson to preview the Final Four and
the News Hounds.
News Hounds Friday.
On a Friday.
Hope to see you then. Have a great evening. News 3 at 5 starts right now.
The missing child after all.
There is a new mayor in Fitchburg. A member of the city council beat the incumbent. Will introduce you to the new mayor.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 5.
Thanks for staying with News 3 Now. Authorities say there is a renewed awareness tonight in the case of Timothy Pitson, an Illinois boy last seen in Wisconsin Dells almost 8 years ago.
The FBI has been investigating after a 23-year-old man from Ohio came forward claiming to be Timothy. Timothy's family held a news conference just within the last hour, and our Rose Schmidt is here. Latest from this developing story, Rose.
Yeah, so members of Timothy's family say they're reliving the day he went missing all over again after a man now identified as 23-year-old Brian Reaney told police he was Timothy and that he escaped kidnappers in Ohio and ran across a bridge into Kentucky. But the FBI says tonight DNA evidence proves that man is not Timothy, and they're now investigating the matter. Timothy's family held a news conference in the last hour reacting to that false lead, which they called devastating. Timothy was from Aurora, Illinois, but went missing while visiting the Wisconsin Dells in 2011. His father reported him missing in May of 2011. The next day he was seen with his mom as she checked out of the Kalahari Resort in May. Days later, his mother died by suicide in Rockford. His family says they're still hopeful Timothy will be found one day.
The last morning I had him, he crawled in bed with me and told me I was the best grandma in the whole wide world. So he's a wonderful little boy, and I hope he has the strength of personality to do whatever he needs to do to find us. My prayer has always been that when he was old enough, he would find us if we couldn't find him.
Aurora police also held a news conference today saying they've received thousands of tips over the years saying where Timothy might have been. The police chief says giving false hope to families does a different kind of damage, and they have to be cautiously optimistic every time they receive a tip. The FBI says it will not forget Timothy and hopes one day to reunite him with his family. They're asking anyone with information in the case to call the Aurora Police Department or the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. That center says the best thing you can do at home is to keep sharing pictures of missing children on social media to help bring them home.
So hard for that family to have to relive it all over again, and we don't know very much about the man who claimed to be Timothy, right?
We don't know.
Still waiting to find that out.
Yeah, and I think the FBI says that they're investigating, and we'll probably know more soon, and these details just keep coming out more and more within the hour.
The mystery continues. Rose, thanks you.
Rose.
A cloudy and cool day here. We are ready to warm up a bit as we head to the weekend. A look at your first alert weather. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti on the weather patio with the wrong kind of jacket on, Gary.
Well, at least it's keeping me dry. We've got a little bit of a sprinkle coming down right now, but I think most of the showers will be over with later tonight, and then temperatures will warm up for tomorrow. On high-resolution Doppler, you can see just some very light showers over southeastern Wisconsin and to the north and west over toward the La Crosse area. Everything lifting toward the north and east, so there's still maybe a few showers yet tonight, but by about midnight, I think most of the showers will be over with, and we could see some areas of fog after that. Otherwise, as we take a look at low temperatures so far today, they started out around 40 degrees. Temperatures haven't moved very much. North and east of Madison, they've been in the mid to upper 30s. High temperatures, only the lower to middle 40s, just a few degrees above the overnight low temperatures. And here in Madison, we're back down to 40, which is actually our low temperature for the day. Temperatures will hold nearly steady through the evening hours. The winds rather brisk, but they will die down later on tonight, too. We're seeing some wind gusts still, especially out to the west, around 20 to 25 miles per hour. By tomorrow morning, look for those temperatures to be down into the upper 30s. Some areas of fog may form overnight. Otherwise, we'll turn partly sunny for tomorrow. Look at that high temperature expected, 60 degrees, so about a 15 degree improvement over today. That's your News 3 Now First Alert forecast.
Gary, thank you. And this just in from the Channel 3000 Alert Center. The Monroe Fire Department is responding to a reported structure fire at an apartment complex.
A call reporting smoke at the Monroe Village Apartments on 4th Avenue West in Monroe came in at about 3:41 today. We're following the story, and we'll have the very latest for you on our website, channel3000.com. A deputy has been put on administrative leave and charged with domestic violence in Rock County. The Rock County Sheriff's Office says 26-year-old Keegan Kelly was arrested Wednesday on suspicion of domestic violence, disorderly conduct, and posted bond. Lake Delton police also arrested Kelly on a felony charge of domestic violence strangulation, domestic violence battery, and disorderly conduct. Kelly was taken into custody and transported to the Sauk County Jail, where he will be held pending a court proceeding.
The man accused of murdering his child's mother and his child has pleaded not guilty. 35-year-old Darius Higgins appeared in Milwaukee County Court today. He is facing life in prison for the 3 felonies that he's been charged with. He's charged with killing the mother of his child, Sierra Robinson, and shooting another woman in Milwaukee, leaving her with serious injuries. Higgins is also a suspect in the disappearance of 2-year-old Noelani Robinson, who was the subject of an Amber Alert. The toddler's body was later found in a ditch in Minnesota. No charges have yet been filed in the death of Noelani. Higgins will be back in court later in April.
Several students and a bus driver were taken to the hospital this morning following a school bus crash in the town of Beloit.
This happened after the driver lost consciousness because of a medical emergency. Our Rock County reporter Adam Duxter joins us from our bureau at the Janesville Gazette with what the district there is saying this evening. Adam?
Well, Eric and Susan, the town of Beloit fire chief told me that 4 students sustained some type of injury this morning after a school bus driver lost consciousness and crashed on the way to school. According to a statement from police, there was a mix of high school and middle school students on the bus at the time of the crash, which took place on Inman Parkway in front of the police station. Beloit Turner School District Superintendent Dr. Dennis McCarthy says while the situation was scary, it could have been much worse.
Obviously, everybody's concerned right away. I think part of the maybe minor miracle in this situation is that it occurred where it did, directly in front of the police station, directly immediate adjacency to the fire station where we have our first responders coming from.
Police and fire say all of the students were able to leave the bus under their own power. I asked Superintendent McCarthy if the school district will consider making any changes in the future because of a crash like this, namely adding seatbelts to school buses. He said it's too soon to tell if they're going to make any changes, but he says they're not considering any at this moment right now.
All right, Adam Duxter in Rock County. Adam, thank you.
More than 6,000 customers were without power this morning after a car hit a power pole on University Avenue. Madison Gas and Electric says the car hit the pole at University and Allen Boulevard. Crews spent the day working on the outage. Madison Gas and Electric officials tell us power was restored by about 4 o'clock this afternoon.
And Madison police say a truck hit a power pole just north of Broadway at Hoboken Road and Lake Point Drive about 8:40 this morning. Power pole that was hit caused a chain reaction, pulled 2 more poles down, which caused the wires to hit an occupied vehicle. The people were safely removed from that vehicle, not injured. Traffic was shut down on Hoboken between West Broadway and Weber Drive for most of the day.
A Madison man faces his 5th offense for operating while intoxicated. A deputy with the Dane County Sheriff's Office pulled 31-year-old Adrian Cisneros of Madison over early this morning in the town of Westport. The traffic stop took place near County Highway M and Willow Road. Cisneros was taken to a local hospital for a blood sample and booked into the Dane County Jail. Cisneros was also ticketed for operating after revocation, a suspended registration, and possession of marijuana.
A Madison teenager facing stolen vehicle charges for a 2nd time in less than 2 months. Police say a woman noticed a relative's vehicle that had been stolen back in February. That stolen car was stopped on Prairie Rose Road, and Madison police were on the scene shortly after and took the 17-year-old Jalen Jones into custody. Now, according to police, Jones was also arrested February 9th on suspicion of driving a different stolen vehicle. In both cases, victims had left their vehicles unlocked and running when they were stolen. Jones facing a tentative charge of operating a motor vehicle without the owner's consent and felony bail jumping. There is a new leader in the city of Fitchburg.
A member of the city council beat the incumbent mayor with 64% of the vote. Our Kelly Arthur spoke with the mayor-elect today and joins us with the very latest. Kelly?
Well, this is a welcome change for some in the community. The controversial incumbent beat by longtime resident who currently works as a substitute teacher.
I grew up here. I'm 5th generation here in Fitchburg.
With deep roots into Fitchburg's past, Aaron Richardson decided he wanted to help shape its future.
I planned to be here for a long time, so I really wanted to have a lot of input into those decisions.
So the substitute teacher and one-term council member decided to run for the city's highest office, beating incumbent Jason Gonzalez by nearly 1,700 votes. During Gonzalez's term, he was often in the news for the wrong reason. In 2018, Gonzalez was reprimanded by the Wisconsin Supreme Court for his work as a defense attorney. And this year, reports surfaced showing he was disciplined twice for sexual harassment in 2007 while working for the Oregon Fire Department.
You know, we tried our best to stay on task and to stay focused on serving the residents. You know, sometimes it was hard with some of those distractions, but I think that as a council, we did try to do that, and I think we did a good job of that.
Richardson says his first order of business is updating Fitchburg's comprehensive plan.
Really, what is our city going to look like in 10 years?
One goal is more affordable housing.
We're now up to 51% of our housing is rentals. And there's not a right or wrong percent, but I think that when it gets over 50%, that's where people start to go, well, we'd like to see more of the ownership opportunities.
He's also working closely with Economic Development Director Michael Zimmerman. They say attracting businesses to the city is important to its growth. Companies like Promega and Sub-Zero are already expanding, and Phoenix is building its headquarters there.
And that's really, I think, a deal for us, is having that growth and where people can live and work right here in Fitchburg.
Richardson's term is just 1 year. He says he will likely run again next year for a 3-year term, believing as mayor he'll create a place where people hopefully will stay as long as he has.
Someone who cared and loved this city. You know, if people think those things about me, then I'll be happy.
Another topic discussed, the annexation of the town of Madison. Under the current agreement, Fitchburg and the city of Madison will absorb the town by 2020. With the new mayor in both cities, the deal originally inked in 2003 could change. Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes-Conway, newly elected, did not immediately respond to our request for comment on the topic. However, Richardson said he is interested in letting the city take over all of the town of Madison.
We'll continue to follow it. Keely, thanks.
2 UW system regents are back at work, even though Governor Evers fired them last month after a court ruling invalidated their appointments. Republican legislators confirmed 82 of former Governor Scott Walker's appointees during a December lame duck session. The group included Regent Scott Bechtel and Tori Tiedemann. A Dane County judge last month found that lame duck session was illegal. Governor Evers then rescinded all 82 appointments. An appeals court stayed the ruling, however, and Governor Evers then reappointed 67 of those appointees. Bechtel and Tiedemann were not among them. Both were seated, however, at a Regent Finance Committee meeting today without any comment on the status of their appointments.
A Wisconsin couple is searching for a miracle for their 5-month-old son. Marcus Albers of Waukesha suffers from a rare disease called immunodeficiency 47 that has already destroyed his liver. He needs someone to donate part of their liver in order to stay alive. Neither his mom nor his dad or any of his family members qualify as a donor.
Either O positive or O negative, under 150 pounds and under the age of 40.
Yeah, and good health.
And good health, you know, not smoking, not a heavy drinker.
Not recently pregnant.
Not
like
recently pregnant.
Marcus's 2-year-old brother suffers from the same disease, and one day he will also need a transplant.
And there is more to come on News 3 Now at 5. President Trump backing off talk of closing the southern border. We'll tell you what his latest message is to Mexico.
The first lawsuit has been filed against Boeing and others over last month's deadly Ethiopian Airlines crash that killed more than 300 people.
And mixed numbers on Wall Street today. The Dow up 166.5. The Nasdaq lost 4, while the S&P 500 added a half dozen. We'll be right back. President Trump has eased off his threat to shut down the southern border.
The president is now threatening to slap tariffs on cars produced in Mexico unless Mexico does more to stop migrants trying to enter the U.S. The president had threatened last week to close the border this week unless Mexico immediately halted all illegal immigration coming into the U.S. He has since praised the country for trying to do more.
Need help from Mexico. If Mexico doesn't give the help, that's okay. We're going to tariff their cars coming into the United States.
The president is also threatening tariffs if Mexico does not halt the flow of illegal drugs across the border. And he says he is giving Mexico a one-year warning to comply.
And Democrats are putting new pressure on the president. The House Judiciary Committee has now authorized subpoenas for the full Mueller report with no redactions. Meanwhile, the House Ways and Means Committee Chairman Richard Neal cited a little-known tax law to support his demand for 6 years of the president's tax returns. He also wants returns from 8 other Trump businesses, but the president does not appear ready to comply.
The committee must see everything, as was done in every prior instance.
People that have been involved in this process, they've wasted 2 years of their life, and they need to find a way to validate it. They've lost in 2016, they lost on the collusion battle, and now they're looking for any and everything they can to continue to attack this president.
Democrats are also scrutinizing a security incident last weekend at Mar-a-Lago. The House Intelligence Committee requested a briefing from the Secret Service following the arrest of a Chinese woman who tried to gain access to the president's resort carrying computer malware.
The first lawsuit has been filed against Boeing and others over last month's deadly Ethiopian Airlines crash that killed more than 300 people. The family of 24-year-old Samia Stumo is suing Boeing. Stumo was on a trip for her job, and she was among 157 people killed on March 10th when the Boeing 737 MAX 8 jet went down. Former presidential candidate Ralph Nader, who is her uncle, addressed the room by phone.
Those planes should never fly again. Those planes, the 737 MAX 8, must be recalled.
Ethiopian investigators revealed today that a sensor malfunction triggered the anti-stall feature on the 737 MAX shortly after takeoff. The pilots followed procedure and turned it off, but could not regain control.
All right, time now to look at our first alert weather. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti joining us now. Gary, ready for a warm-up the next couple days?
Well, we were mild yesterday. We turned much cooler for today thanks to showers and clouds. In fact, you can see the thick blanket of clouds covering much of the central Midwest. That really has put the kibosh on temperatures for today. There are even some flakes of snow flying with the rain showers, perhaps over parts of east central Wisconsin. Generally, we're just seeing some light rain showers. They'll continue off and on until about midnight, and then after that, we might look for the possibility for a little bit of cloud cover. If we look at precipitation over the last 48 hours, it's been very light, less than 1/10 of an inch over southern Wisconsin. The heavier amounts, perhaps up to an inch in some spots, occurred over northern portions of Iowa. But the time lapse from the WISC Skycam looking off toward the east showed a little bit of sunshine mixed in with the clouds this morning, but generally cloudy skies through the day. Not a lot of rain, just a few light showers from time to time. And the live view from the WISC Skycam, you can see the drops on the camera lens there. That's an indication that we are getting some light rain here. Live view from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville, mostly cloudy skies being seen there. They've had a few showers, but right now a little bit of a break. And then the Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison showing mostly cloudy skies. As we check out our almanac for today, our high temperature only made it up to 44, the low temperature 40. You can see just how little the temperature changed. Low temperatures stayed up at night because of the cloud cover, and the daytime high temperatures stayed down because of the cloud cover. We're getting some light rain right now. Temperatures at 40, winds out of the east at 13 miles per hour here in Madison. The weather pattern becoming a little more active. We're getting into a springtime pattern. So you can see the subtropical jet stream that'll start to eventually feed moisture through the Gulf of Mexico and into the eastern part of the United States. And then a series of 1, 2, 3 storm systems that are moving basically from the central Pacific Ocean into much of the United States. And so that means we'll start to see a little bit better chances for precipitation. One storm system moving out right now. The next one will be in here for the weekend, and the one after that will be in here for the middle middle of next week. As we zoom down into our little weather system here, again, the light rain showers are more concentrated down to the south, but there is a warm front out to the west. And so eventually we'll switch our winds back to a westerly direction tomorrow. And look at the difference in temperatures. Underneath the cloud cover, mainly 40s, a couple of low 50s. Where the sun is shining, temperatures are in the 60s. That's where we're going to be for tomorrow and probably be in the 60s for the weekend as well. On future track, you can see the showers moving out tonight, the clouds remaining, and then starting to break up tomorrow, and that'll get temperatures back up to around 60. Now on Saturday, there could be a couple of showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm, mainly north of Madison during the day. The better chances for rain will come on Sunday, but even then, those winds will be out of the south and southeast, and our temperatures will stay in the upper 60s for both Saturday and Sunday. Our forecast for tonight calls for mostly cloudy skies. The showers lend. Might see a little patchy fog overnight. Low temperature at 37. For tomorrow, morning clouds will give way to afternoon sunshine, and our high temperature will jump right up to 60 degrees. On future track, you can see the clouds and the showers for tonight. Low temperatures dropping into the upper 30s, and then for tomorrow, those high temperatures getting up to around 60 as skies turn partly sunny in the afternoon. Tomorrow night, we'll look for low temperatures in the lower 40s, and then on Saturday, again, the best chances for a shower or thunderstorm will be mainly north of Madison. Look at the high temperature, 67 degrees. As we look at the 7 to 10 day forecast, temperatures upper 60s for Sunday with a shower or thunderstorm chance. A little cooler for Monday, but should be dry from Monday. Then some rain chances in the middle of next week. Maybe mix a little snow Thursday night into Friday. Temperatures will be back into the 50s for the following weekend. As we check out our News 3 Now First Alert traffic, right now we're seeing some delays on the Beltline, especially in the eastbound direction. They begin around Monona Drive, go through Park Street, and go all the way back west of Verona Road. Westbound, we're seeing delays start around Fish Hatchery Road, going back to almost to Monona Drive. Right now, it's a 37-minute commute on the eastbound Beltline from University Avenue to the interstate, 21 minutes going back in the westbound direction. If you're heading out of Madison, it's 26 minutes down to Janesville on I-3990, 20 minutes to Sauk City on US 12, and 18 minutes to Sun Prairie on East Washington Avenue and US 151. That's your News 3 Now First Alert traffic.
Thank you, Gary.
More to come on News 3 Now at 5. Up next, how social media is helping bring more people to restaurants. The story after a short break. Now, we all know them, people who love to take photos of their food and share them on social media.
Well, now restaurants are finding a way to actually capitalize on that trend. Hillary Lane explains.
The bagel store in Brooklyn is an international destination thanks to these colorful creations, Rainbow Bagels. Sam Monday and her friends are visiting from England.
We were looking at like interesting things to do around the area, and then my friend mentioned that she saw this on Instagram.
And they didn't just come to eat them. They also made sure to take photos for social media.
Then they look so different. We've never seen these before like anywhere, so it's pretty amazing.
With more and more people posting their food on Instagram, more and more businesses are coming up with share-worthy dishes.
You need even more chocolate now?
Oh, yeah. At Clinton Hall in New York, this supersized red velvet waffle is a mouth-watering hit on social media.
If you're gonna do red velvet waffles, you might as well do the red velvet cake to put it on top to make it extravagant.
Joey Skladany, managing editor at Chowhound, says photos of outrageous food dishes often go viral, sending restaurants more customers.
This millennial generation loves to photograph their food, so if something just looks pretty, they want to kind of take part in this cultural, societal trend and go to the restaurant and show that they took part in it.
Traffic to the bagel store has skyrocketed since the Rainbow Bagels made a splash on social media. Reagan Curry is visiting from Florida.
What are your followers going to think about your Rainbow Bagel photos?
I'll probably get a couple "I'm jealous" comments, or "Did you bring me some" comments.
A colorful marketing twist that's turning into green for many businesses. Hillary Lane, CBS News, New York.
And stay with us. We'll have a final check of your forecast in just a moment.
Here's a look at some of the stories we are working on tonight.
Boeing now says a faulty sensor was part of 2 crashes. We will have the latest on this investigation. A bizarre hoax in Kentucky after a boy claiming to be a missing child is found to be someone else. And the program using dirt bikes to inspire young scientists. It's all tonight on the CBS Evening News.
Kind of a gloomy night out there tonight.
Yeah, the showers will gradually come to an end, and then temperatures will actually warm up for tomorrow. Radar, you can see those showers moving through southern Wisconsin. Most of them should be over with by about midnight. Temperatures are pretty cool. They're generally around 40, few upper 30s and lower 40s, but tomorrow we're back up to 60 with partly sunny skies. Some rain chances over the weekend, a little cooler next week, cool down for Thursday, and then warmer for the following weekend.
We'll have more updates in a half hour. Stay tuned for the CBS Evening News.